Hey there, ninjas. I think we're live. Are we live? Yes, I think we're live. Actually, I just got my haircut a few minutes ago by my friend Therese. I love it. It's super short. It's perfect for summer. I love it. So today I wanted to talk about a topic that came up in conversation recently with me and somebody else. And this lady was telling me about how she had accidentally set olive oil on fire on her stove. And it made me think about this because actually I hear this a lot where people are like, oh my God, the oil caught fire, right? And it's actually really common. People set oil on fire all the time, and there's a reason for that. And it's because oil is highly combustible. Like at a high enough temperature, a lot of oils will actually act the same as lighter fluid, and they will just catch fire, and it's can be pretty dangerous. And so that's why I developed this, right? This is the oil smoke point cheat sheet. It's one of the cheat sheets that I created. And I created this because not all oils are the same, right? So different oils like smoke at different points and then they combust at different points, right? So the difference between an oil smoke point and oil flash point is that at a smoke point is when the oil starts to smoke, and the flash point is when it starts to ignite, right? It just goes boof. And it's highly dangerous because hot oil can explode into flame very quickly and get everywhere, and it'll burn down your house and worse. So a lot of people like to cook with olive oil as their default, and it's great. Olive oil is healthy. I love olive oil, all the way it tastes. But the reality is that olive oil isn't the best oil to cook with at high temperatures for a bunch of different reasons. One being that it has a slightly lower smoke point and flash point than some other oils, but the bigger problem is that extra virgin olive oil actually has a relatively high smoke point and flash point. The problem is that not all olive oils labeled extra virgin olive oil are actually extra virgin olive oil, right? So the more stuff oil has in it, so the less filtered it is, the lower the flash point, right? So if you have like unfiltered olive oil, it's got a bunch of like little bits floating around, those things will go up like that, right? If you have purely filtered extra virgin olive oil, it actually has a relatively high flash point and smoke point, but the problem is that, like I said, most of the cheaper olive oils on the market that you would buy in bulk are not that well refined, and therefore actually have a lower flash and smoke point than you would think, right? And then, the word refined is kind of a hot button word, right? People, I don't want to eat refined processed. Totally get it, and I agree. But the reality is that when you're cooking with oils and you're heating oils up to a very high temperature, refined oils are actually less dangerous because refined oil has fewer impurities in it that are going to catch fire and ignite and explode in your face and send you to the emergency room and then the burn unit. So I have this chart right here. And some of the oils that I've included in this chart, like if you look here, it's kind of hard for both of us to be on the camera at the same time, but you'll see it's got a list of the oil type and the smoke point. And the reason why I love this resource and the reason why I created it is because I ran into a lot of people saying they set their oil on fire, or it was just smoking, it made everything taste bad, right? Because burnt oil tastes awful. Like if you burn your oil, like as you start making your dish, just throw it away. Just don't even bother trying to save it, because that burnt oil will make everything taste burnt. It'll make everything taste really gross. So a couple of the oils that I have on here that I like to cook with, or that I like to fry with, I really like cooking with sunflower oil, which has a smoke point of 440 degrees Fahrenheit, and that in Celsius that's 227 degrees. That's really high. Like the thing is, even that will burn at some point. Like if you put oil in a pan and walk away and you turn your back, like your pan will get 400 degrees, 500 degrees, even 600 degrees, right? If you're not paying attention to it, depending on what temperature you've got it on your stove and what your oil or what your pan is made out of, how thick it is. And so even high smoke point oils can be dangerous if you're not paying attention. So the number one lesson when working with oils at high heat is that you always have to be watching them. You always have to be paying attention. But I really like cooking with sunflower oil because it has a really high smoke point. I like peanut oil, 450 degree smoke point. Rice bran oil, which is great, a little bit more expensive, but you can usually buy it in like a gallon container for relatively cheap from Japanese grocery stores. And that has a smoke point of 490 degrees. Now again, these are all smoke points. These are not the flash points, right? The flash point changes. The smoke point is generally what the average home cook looks at, right? Because once something smokes, then it's toast. You don't want to watch it. You don't want to eat it anymore. And what's interesting is potentially the highest smoke point oil is avocado oil at 520 degrees. Now, again, all of these temperatures are assuming that it's been well refined, meaning all of the impurities have been removed. All it's been filtered out. There's no little schmutzy things like, floating around in there that'll catch fire. But if you're working with like a relatively high quality oil that has been filtered and there's no impurities in it, or few impurities in it, then you're gonna have a much better time and a much safer time using it at high temperatures. Another oil that I generally don't use but is also very good at high temperatures is canola oil. Right? Works great. Safflower oil. Works great. They have very high smoke point temperatures at 510 degrees. It's awesome. And also ghee, clarified butter. Again, it's clarified. It's refined. It's filtered. Like you've taken all the impurities out when you've made refined butter or clarified butter. It's got a smoke point of 485 degrees and it tastes great. So this is just a quick safety note on types of oil. If you're cooking with oil at high temperatures, like if you're using it in a wok, or if you do a lot of stir frying, if you do a lot of like high temperature sauteing, or if you're like, pan frying, you definitely want to be using a high smoke point oil. And if you're interested in getting this guy, you can find that at cookingcheatsheets.com, and I will drop a link down below. If you have any questions about cooking with oil, smoke point, oil questions in general, go ahead and drop them below this video and I'll answer them. Have a good one. Bye-bye.